Hands are the evil shapeshifters of the body. Just when you think you know what a hand looks like and how to draw it, it changes. Arms don't do that. A nose is a nose. Do you ever see an ear do anything other than being a weird looking funnel strapped to the side of your head? No! It's happy looking like that.
I'm pretty self-conscious, actually.
This is a head. This is a head. This is a head. They all look headish, even from different angles. But a hand? This is a hand. This is a hand. This is a hand. But also, this is a hand. This is a hand, and this is a hand. And once you have that figured out, okay, Smarty, all of these are hands too. This is not fair. It's not just that they look different from different angles, but anytime you move a single finger, you're drawing something completely different. And hands can also interact with other objects. A hand holding a pencil, a hand conducting an orchestra, a hand carrying a rabbit squirrel. Every time a hand does something, it has to be drawn differently. Sometimes I just want to get out my freeze ray and good. Now you can't move. Just want to learn this one pose and I'm good. I'm not good. This really hurts. And it's my drawing hand, so that's kind of counterproductive. I have been trying and failing to draw hands my entire life. Even in these videos, I just make boxes with thumbs sticking out of them. That's not a hand. Okay, it wasn't a hand when I started the sentence. Dang shapeshifters. Why can't that thing transform into something useful, like a discount code to my Learn to Draw in 60 Days course? Learn more about that over on my website, bradsartschool.com, or at the end of this video. What this really is a symbol for a hand, and it's in a cartooning style that gets the point across. But as an artist, I have a bad habit of leaning too hard on symbols, so I never dive into the details. So, in February, I decided I was gonna sit down and draw hands every day and learn the nitty-gritty. Not just the symbols for different hand shapes, but the underlying pieces of what makes a hand a hand. And I started here. Andrew Loomis. This book is from the 1940s. I've used his head drawing method a lot. I like the analytical way he breaks down his processes. Starts with a sphere, he cuts off the edges, he gets the proportion down with the brow line, the nose, the chin, figures out where they are. Because I can rotate a sphere up and down and side to side, it makes finding the rest of the proportions easier when I'm drawing a head. I love that stuff. I'm a sucker for that kind of breakdown because all I have to do is figure out how to draw a basic shape and perspective and then build around it. So in this book, Loomis has a page of blocky hands where he does break the hands into cubes, kinda. A lot of these blocky shapes aren't exactly cubes though. These are more like polygons before polygons were polygons. 1940s computers weren't really a thing, right? But this was a really good reference point, a starting point for me. And I spent a lot of time practicing Loomis's hands. The palm at the base of the fingers is actually a little bit curved, and as you go up from the top of the palm and you get to those joints, the curve becomes a little bit more pronounced until you get all the way up to the fingertips and you get a really good arc going. That was way more pronounced than I realized. In general, the proportions that Loomis has here were really helpful. And this book has page after page after page of drawings of hands from different angles doing different things with the fingers in different positions. So I took photos of these hands from this book on my iPad, and then I would draw to the best of my ability a hand, the same exact hand next to the one that I had scanned for the book. It did not look good. And the first few days were brutal. I just could not get the proportions right, not to mention the subtle expression that his hands have. I just couldn't. What's that sound? Where's that music coming from?
Brad drew these really bad hands.
Yes, it did.
Brad drew these really
Yes, it did.
bad hands.
Yes, it did.
Brad drew these really
Yes, it did.
bad hands.
Yes, it did.
Brad drew these really bad hands.
From there, I went on a search for YouTube videos that would help me better understand how to draw hands. I didn't really feel like I was making a ton of progress with the Loomis method. Maybe there were other methods out there that would help me, and I found some great videos. Here are some that I liked. There was this one by Draw Like a Sir. Drawing hands is hard, this tutorial isn't. And my main takeaway here was to focus less on the individual parts of the hands, like single fingers or the thumb, but to first figure out the silhouette of the hand, the shape of the hand, the chord of the hand. And once you do, it kind of limits the space of your proportions of your fingers and things like that. There's less ways for those fingers to get way out of control and out of place. Here's another video that I really like, drawing hands with a bread slice technique. This is from Love, Life, and Drawing. The palm is kind of like a box. Along the top of the palm is that curve we talked about before, so it ends up making the palm look kind of like a slice of bread, and that forms the basis of your palm. Here's another video. This was a short. This one was by Proco, but but this one really helped me. Maybe because the hands are kind of cartoonish, but it focuses on gesture lines. When I first started practicing and drawing, I was unsure of my lines and where they should go, and so I ended up having these short, feathery strokes, which looked gross. And this video gave me permission to make more confident sweeping strokes as I was practicing, and I really liked that. Even though my strokes were inaccurate and my fingers got comically long, it felt good to be doing something else, trying something totally different. Throughout history, failure has taken many forms. The Hindenburg, Blockbuster Video, the Microsoft Zoo. I swear, if you play that song one more time, I watch a lot of videos. I tried a lot of different things. I kept pounding away, drawing hands, but 2 weeks in, something was becoming very clear. I was not succeeding. In some ways, maybe I could say I was getting better, but I really expected to be much further along by now. I really felt like I was making no progress at all. My hands look different from where I started, sure, but I'm not sure I consider them better. They're just way too wooden and everything was just wrong. Why did I tell people I was gonna do this? Why did I run my mouth on social media? Why am I even doing this? At this point, I think where I was going wrong was I was overdosing on information. There's nothing wrong with any of these methods of drawing hands that I was learning from. They're all offering great advice, but I would practice one technique one day, and then the next day I'd jump into another video and I'd practice another technique, and then I bounced around to another video. I'm like this pinball, just going every which way, never stopping in one place long enough to actually learn, to really let it soak in, to get that repetition in one area that would actually help me. And I hadn't even gone on social media and posted anything since February 1st. So maybe if I delete those posts now, people will just forget about this whole experiment. I could move on to something else. As a last ditch effort, I thought I'll just PewDiePie it. And if you're not familiar with this art term I just made up, it works like this. You draw anime girls every day over and over until you say,
"That one's kind of fun."
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. I busted out my Loomis book and I just started drawing hands, using the same hands that I started with a few weeks earlier. And to my amazement, I had actually gotten a little better over that time. Not good, but better. I could tell that my proportions were starting to get a little better. I could look at my old artwork and see where I went wrong and what I could do better. I knew that when I was drawing a palm that it just didn't look right. It looked too wide, or it was too long, or the fingers were starting in the wrong place or not overlapping properly. I started to see those little details of how the thumb like almost curves a little bit on the back, or how the tendons are really straight here along the side of the thumb. But most of all, I kept drawing hands, more and more hands, day after day, just putting my head down and drawing hands, not worrying about if a hand was good or if a hand was bad. I knew that I would get another chance in a minute or two and I could just try again. I just kept drawing hands. When I was sitting around waiting for a meeting to start, draw a hand. When I was warming up my lunch, draw a hand. When I was watching TV, draw a hand. When I was having my afternoon Diet Pepsi and almond break, draw a hand. Waiting for my friend in the ER after an incident with a rabid squirrel, draw a hand. I even started carrying around 2 hands with me for just such an occasion. And after only a few days, I could say,
"That one's kind of fun."
My hands were legit getting better. To the point where I could even make a little cartoon guy of a hand and put him in this video. Where is he? He was supposed to come in. I have a long way to go. But I'm pretty excited with where I'm at now. The biggest mistake I made was trying to find a secret formula or that one special trick that would lead to success. I was looking for that thing that would work for me, but any one of those things would have worked just fine, but I had to brute force it. I had to pick one and stick with it. And now I can almost kind of draw hands. So thank you to the Patreon peeps for supporting this channel, giving me feedback as I made this video. Another way you can support this channel is by checking out my online courses, like the one I just mentioned a minute ago. If you've ever felt like you were taking a tutorial or a course and it was over your head, my Learn to Draw in 60 Days course is designed to teach the foundational skills that will better equip you to tackle more advanced stuff later. Brad'sArtSchool.com if you would like to learn more. Thank you for watching this video.